Welcome to Earth2's Comicast, where superheroes exist and comic book talk is the norm. It's your boy MoeCrosby. Today's episode is a top 5 episode, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 ElseWorld or alternate storylines or other timeline stories that I've read or I've seen. So, as always, sit back, relax, and
welcome to the planet.
It seems like everywhere you turn and every time you look around or look up, there's news about the Warner Brothers ElseWorld line up they're trying to do, especially with this Joker movie that they're trying to set back in the 80s. I mean, you could just go look at the first Batman movie, live action Batman movie, to see a Joker origin story. You don't necessarily need to look at a whole hour-long, 2.5-hour-long movie of just the Joker doing Jokerisms, I guess. But you know what? Warner Brothers decides that's what they want to do. Are we going to see it? Let's see what happens when it actually becomes real news. But there's also stuff that is in the comic books, like Nightwing: The New Order, that's new. And then there's the animated movie Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This is slated to come out later this year. And so with all of this coming out and with all of this talk of ElseWorlds, I decided I want to talk about the ones that I've personally enjoyed or liked the most. And so I'm going to get into my list for you. Starting off the list for you guys is Old Man Logan. Now, Old Man Logan is something that is very, very controversial. Some people don't like it, some do. I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought, whatever they decided to do with the X-Men in that universe, or how they, dealt with the X-Men in that universe just to end that storyline for us to come back to the current storyline, I thought that was really good. And what they did with it in the future, making that movie that everyone loves, that came out earlier this year, Logan, I thought, this was a pretty good ElseWorld movie. And it also shows that the ElseWorld movie can be done in a current live action iteration. It doesn't have to follow the comic books exactly, but it could be done in the current iteration, because while Logan happened, the X-Men movies are still going to be happening moving forward from Apocalypse. So all of that is still going to be happening. So yes, that is an ElseWorld story that I actually really, really liked. Next on the list for you guys is Earth2, and this is from DC. It's new. It was from the New 52. I really, really loved this book. I loved every part of it, every hero they reintroduced, every way they reintroduced every hero. I loved the way they did it. I mean, my favorite character from Earth2, to be honest, is Val-Zod. I thought, it was very interesting. His characterization was very interesting. Bringing him up from the House of Zod, or he's a Zod, and then making him wear the House of L's crest on his chest. I thought that was fantastic. I mean, what is a better way, what other way, to honor the fallen Superman than to have the next person, even though he's from a different house, wear his crest, the House of L symbol on his chest. That was very, very awesome, and I loved Earth2. Loved the way it ended, and with all of that, we have Rebirth now, so we don't know what the only thing ElseWorld-ish is Nightwing: The New Order, and I kind of like that. We've only got one issue so far, so DC's starting to come back with their ElseWorld stuff again. Next on my list is The Dark Knight Returns, and I'm talking about the very, very first one. I think it was the best one in all of the three, and I think, it hasn't been topped, with the other two that came out. But, seeing an older, more experienced Batman, someone who's been beaten and looks war-torn, it was just kind of interesting to see. And what makes it even better is that when they when the first volumes were done, we got to see the animated movie, and I was like, wow, that's interesting, seeing that take of Batman actually, walk around and be animated. And then we got another take of that with Ben Affleck playing Batman, an older, grizzled Batman, kind of war-torn, kind of beaten. That looked cool to see. You've taken different iterations of Batman. You've taken one iteration of Batman and kind of tapered them to show what the DCU is going, where the DCU is right now, and I thought that was very, very interesting. And I thought, what I thought about The Dark Knight Returns is it's a very, very good book, very, very dark, very, very gritty, very grim, and was able to translate to a live action character. That is the second one on my list that we've seen a kind of sort of a live action character of. That's crazy, right? The next one on the list is Kingdom Come. Now, what makes this very, very special is just seeing, again, we see older superheroes. Again, this is the old generation versus the young generation. Not necessarily versus, but this is the way of doing it. This is the way we've always done it versus this is the way it should be done now. Everyone is young. Everything is kind of young. This was a good one, because seeing it was kind of like almost a hero versus hero thing, but not necessarily hero versus. It's you know what? Go read it, and let's talk about it later. But yeah, Kingdom Come is on the list for me. I thought it was very, very good. I loved everything I read of it, and it's still on my top reads today. Last but not least, again, it's a top 5, but last but not least is Superman Red Sun. How can I do an ElseWorld storyline or stories that I've read without talking about Superman Red Sun? I mean, it was a very, very, very good one. I loved it. I loved seeing Superman in a different light. I mean, a lot. Again, this might be one where if Warner Brothers decides with their new ElseWorlds brand to do a different take of Superman, I think this is going to be the most controversial Superman ever. But this was a very, very good one. It was good for its time, and it's very relevant because it shows you who Superman is. He's always going to be this character. He's always going to be this guy. So I really loved it, and I thought, you know, like, if any one of these 5 that I've mentioned should be made into a live action anything. I mean, granted, we've seen a live action Logan or Old Man Logan. I think Red Sun is what's next, and we've seen an older version of Batman, so a kind of a Frank Miller take on a live action Batman. I think Red Sun is the next one to be done. Hey, well, that's my list for you, and that's the episode. Down in the comment section, let me know what your top ElseWorld reads were, or what you've liked from the ElseWorld brand, or, you know, what have you read that is a different alternate timeline that you've always liked. Let me know that in the comment section. Let us know also on our social media. You can tag us and you can make a list and tag us in it, Earth2 Comic Cast, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Give this video a like and a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it. Share it always. Oh, hold on, before I forget, check out our podcast. We got a new episode coming out tomorrow. It's going to be really, really cool. We're going to be talking more of the ElseWorlds. We're going to be doing more comics, and we're talking about the new DC stuff that might be coming later. The link is somewhere down here. Again, you can always go check out past episodes. Again, you know, we've had really, really good episodes. We did Captain America one last week, and we're looking forward to doing that again on a bigger scale. So again, check us out there. It's really awesome, and we love all you guys that came with us from SoundCloud and are still supporting on there. Again, it's been your boy MoeCrosby, and this has been my top 5 ElseWorld reads or alternate timeline reads. Again, keep reading, keep watching, and as always, go fill your long boxes. Peace.